What's up, Tony? You're muted, but I saw you say hello.
I'm sorry. Hello.
How's it going?
It seems to be fine, but yeah, it's kind of like stuff happening.
I'm good. It's supposed to be 105 degrees today, or 40.5 degrees Celsius.
45.
41 degrees Celsius. 40
Oh,
dot. Yeah.
Where are you living?
Portland.
Oh, I thought it's not that hot there.
It's not supposed to be. That's
Oh,
true. All right.
maybe it's from the stuff from Africa. They got really high degrees and it's spreading the whole world.
Yeah. Yeah, are we in the right place?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Very good. Just gonna ping the Telegram channel. Okay, we'll give everybody a couple more minutes to join, maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. How was everyone's weekend?
Thanks.
Anyone get up to anything interesting?
Kids' parties.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bouncy castles?
No, like it was really hot, so and just roasting in the park.
We went to a kids party a couple days ago, and it was one of those places that had trampolines covering all of the walls and all of the floors. And I was surprised by the lack of adults that were jumping on the trampoline. Are you an adult that goes there and jumps with the kids or sits on the side?
Um, it depends on how clingy the youngest one is. The oldest one will just run off and do her thing. Then I'll go and talk to the adults. But the youngest one, if she's like feeling shy or nervous or whatever, then she'll cling to me and have me like go around the obstacle course with her and work up a sweat. So which is, I mean, depends on how social I'm feeling, right? Because like if I don't feel like talking to adults about grown up stuff, just like, you know,
Let's go jump on a trampoline for a little bit.
yeah, go jump on a trampoline, it's good cardio.
Exactly. Hey, Luke, how was the weekend?
Hey, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, just did some stuff. Had to look at some LLM stuff a little bit for work. Other than that, just hung out. How about you?
Good, good. Went on a bike ride. Installed a wall. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, just normal weekend stuff.
Does anyone know, did Robin say he was gonna make it today? Does anyone talk to Robin? Let me just ping him. Okay, cool. We'll give him, we'll see if he's gonna join. Okay, so for today, I was thinking we can go through backlog a little bit, but then I would love to do our first kind of sprint planning with you guys. I know I mentioned it'd be nice for us to jump on sprints, but we haven't really utilized the GitHub tooling for it yet, so we can do that today and get a sprint going. I also want to say sorry, I've been kind of inactive. I got pulled into some heavy duty Madara work, and I've just kind of been focusing there, heads down. So I haven't been super active in Beerus lately. I did want to ask, is there anyone on the call that's interested in like project management or maintenance work? It's something that only Dust will pay for. And if you have any interest in like reviewing PRs, opening issues, closing issues, cutting releases, even some of the Actions CI work, is there anyone on the call that's interested in that side of open source? Alex, I know are you still willing to help with all that stuff, Alex?
Yeah, yeah. I think that we just should just like have a chat about what day to day looks like on that.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of out of pocket, but um that's just been like, kids and getting sick and stuff, like regular stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get that. Anyone else on the call that wants to get onto that side? And if not, no worries. Okay. Cool. Then we will keep kind of plugging away the way we're plugging away. Sorry if I'm inactive. I think if I'm inactive or if Alex is inactive and you need something reviewed or merged that looks blocking, maybe also just DM either one of us, just so I know that it's important to get to. Okay, with that, I have not had a chance to look through this PR backlog. Let me share my screen. So let's just start with Alex. Do you want to give an update on these three, 534 through 536?
I was working on the methods that Ravon flagged as not working in the cron job. And so with that's not very informative. That was add declare. It's a declare declare transaction.
Okay.
So what I did was I updated it to V2 because the error that was coming back wasn't like missing params or anything informative. It was just unknown error. And I think that if there's a failure in the transaction itself, that like it'll just return an unknown error. It's not very informative.
Okay.
So I updated it to V2 because I saw that there was an example in the Pathfinder repo. And then I just added the max fee to it and just made it like a stupid high number. And it works, but it doesn't work more than once. So I mean, like, and if I play around with that max fee value, then it can work more than once, like, but you have to like modify it. So I don't know if we should take these kinds of examples and like just have them as examples and not run them with the cron job, like indicate somewhere that, hey, this is an example of what the format looks like, but this, it probably won't work if you try to run it.
Right.
So
I think that makes sense to me because the alternative is to like set up a testnet wallet or set up a testnet account and fund it and then make sure we are storing the knots somewhere.
right.
That makes sense to me. Just to kind of flag it as like, well, what if we flagged it as only run on DevNet or Katana? Because we would know what our nonce would be every single time.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I could take a look at Katana. I haven't actually messed with it yet.
Okay.
Like what's like the high level overview of what Katana is as opposed to like DevNet?
Well, I mean, the high level is that they should be exactly compatible. They should both just adhere to the protocol and to the
Should.
interfaces. But I think unfortunately DevNet is a little behind, which is the reason why Robon had issues running all of our hurls against DevNet.
Right.
But one of his tasks is to run everything against Katana, basically migrate us away from DevNet towards Katana. So I mean, ideal case scenario, all of those issues that he had flagged just get solved. That's probably
Yeah.
not gonna be the case. It's probably gonna be one-off things like what you've just found here. But I think that this should at least be easier to implement against Katana, or at least that's what I would hope.
I see. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know if you wanted to like have a dummy contract that was funded or not in this case, but like if we can set something up in Katana, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, let's keep that in mind for this sprint then, because maybe what we can say is after this 2-week sprint, we're cut over completely to Katana, and we have things like this that run against Katana.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable thing to be able to do in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
So I'll probably cut a new PR
Okay,
for that then.
okay, that makes
If
sense.
depending on what I find in Katana, like there might be some limitations that we're not thinking of. Oh,
Right.
okay. And then those are okay. So the next pull request for add deploy account transaction, um, that's the same kind of thing, but it's actually I had to update there was a bit of code change that had to be done, just because they weren't using
Mm,
they were doing it all manually. So I added a method to the light client and
nice. So we didn't have add deploy account before.
you know
Nice. Okay, sweet.
they were using deploy transaction, and then
Uh,
yeah,
I think
and
this is
then
probably an important one then to move forward with.
and then
It's
I put this example in, and it runs against the same problem as the other example.
okay.
It deploy once, but then you have to like mess with the max fee to like get it deployed again. Um, and
Okay.
that's the latest version of deploy account transaction.
Can we do this? Can you strip this out of this PR? We'll get that endpoint added and then open up an issue for the actual testing against Katana.
Oh, okay.
Because
I
I
didn't
did
know.
not realize we didn't have this endpoint.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't realize it either, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this real quick. So
Was that one of the endpoints on the README that's like listed with text?
I didn't check. If
Okay.
it is, I should probably update that
No,
along.
I was just curious.
No. It's good that you pointed it out because I forgot to check because it should be updated if the PR resolves the X. But if we have a check mark and it doesn't work, then it's good to fix it. So
It's a fairly new transaction type.
well, so here's
Deploy
the
account.
thing that so there's a previous version, not only in there but in the Starknet-rs library,
Mm-hmm.
and he uses nonce there, even though that's not in the deprecated version. It's weird. So like the Pathfinder like example won't work with their version 0 in Starknet-rs. Does that make sense? So like the old
Yes.
version, like is asking for nonce, but nonce isn't in the Pathfinder example. That's one of the other reasons why I updated it too. Not only because
Okay.
it's deprecated, but also because in Starknet-rs they don't have a nonce. So like I felt like the example wouldn't make sense or would lead to some confusion. So I was just going to be like, solve it by like not looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, because I think Starknet-rs like instead of having it as an inner field to that struct, they deserialize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, so I think this basically got released in 0.10.1. So yeah, kind of far away. We should have that anyway. So that, yeah, let's make that a priority to move that, and then we'll add that example into the Katana sprint.
Okay.
Cool.
And then same difference in this guy. There was no params, there's no example. So I threw in an example, but it doesn't work if you don't mess with the max fee.
Okay. Okay.
So
Are these pinned to issue numbers? Yes. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So this is our project page. I'll send this out
Okay.
here. So that's in a project, the status. We'll just mark all of these as ready.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one we said was on the other PR here.
Yeah. So that once I strip that other one out, then I'll label it correctly in the projects and ready.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
And so like, and one thing actually I didn't assign it to myself. But I started looking at it because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So the get proof was also failing. And I took a look at Pathfinder, and they have an example in it that references a contract in testnet. So like I fired up testnet and it's under
So RPC.
yeah, and then bin Pathfinder, I think. No. Okay, 1 second. Let me look it up. No, we were not just.
They always move these examples around.
I just put it in I just put it in the chat.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Even if it's the wrong one, someone right. So that has the lightest block ID, and then it has that contract address. I found it on testnet.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, okay, I'll just run this real quick. So I'll see if this works. Because the way that we do the get proof is just we take the capture the params and then pass them to full node, right? It's the same structure.
Yeah.
So I just passed it and it's still doing that unknown error. So I have no idea what's wrong with it. And I tried looking up the contract, but I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't tell what was wrong with the information that we're trying to pass. So
Okay.
yeah. So I didn't know if like I should fire up Pathfinder and see if I could work it with it there, or if like, we just need if it's just like this whole thing with Katana or
Yeah, that brings up a good point, which is that I mean, this endpoint is even prefixed with Pathfinder. So is this even going to be available in Katana?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Do you want to follow up with that, or do you want me to?
Follow up with like just look in Katana and see like if there's a contract that we can use for the storage proof, or
Just if this is exposed, because we basically asked Pathfinder to expose get proof to us.
okay.
And then Pathfinder came back with this, Merkle path, Merkle proof. But I don't think Papyrus has this. I don't think Juno has this. I I don't know how Katana implements their RPC on the back end.
Hmm, gotcha.
Maybe it's easy to find out. Let's do a little bit of digging.
Okay, so go to the get contract storage proof. Oh no, I'll assign that to me actually, and I'll look into it.
Okay. Here's Katana's stupid Zoom thing. One sec. It's like Zoom overlays a nav bar and then won't let me touch my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if they have their interface defined somewhere. Okay, so they probably take it from Starknet-rs, which probably won't have it. And yeah, here we go. All right, that is an issue.
Okay.
Okay, so this is actually probably very good. If we could get proof added to Starknet-rs, we could then, it'd be easier for everything downstream of Starknet-rs to implement it.
Okay.
Jonathan is the maintainer of Starknet-rs, and sometimes what he does is if you open up a PR, he'll take your code and implement it himself and then close your PR. So
This only does hack. Developers hate them.
exactly. Do you want to open up the issue for that on Starknet-rs, or do you want me to?
Would you mind?
Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, cool. So then you'll probably be blocked on that then for, where are we? For get proof against Katana, you'll probably be blocked on that, is my guess.
Get contract storage proof. No, it's I didn't open a PR. It's
Okay.
it's just an issue.
So I'll put it in this sprint, but you'll probably be blocked on it.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll put it in the backlog.
Yeah, but that unknown error is it's pretty obnoxious. I don't know if that's just like a limitation that we just have to deal with, or if
This
there's
was, what was this being run against? Do you know?
so if you just fire up Beerus and use the RPC endpoint and it has a problem with like, lack of funds or a transaction error, then it'll just return this unknown error business. And
But
I only knew about it just because I've done the base camp. I'm like, okay.
But is that,
work.
do you know if he's running it against Infura or Alchemy? Because I think they run different. Well, I think they both run Pathfinder actually.
Yeah, no, I ran it. I saw this unknown error running against Alchemy.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, that's annoying.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll ask my wife about it. That'd be so weird sitting on their Starknet meeting. Hey,
fix this. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, Alex's wife works for Consensus on the Infura team.
yeah.
We got an insider. Tony, do
Everybody
you
use
want
the Infura endpoints. Give them all your info. Trust them.
Tony, do you mind giving an update on this one?
There is nothing. I took an example from the Pathfinder, so you was right when you not specify a range. It just times out, and so you can get a response. So
Okay.
the interesting one is the second issue I'm working on. It's getting state update from the Starknet, and I I found out that I tested against the Alchemy mainnet, and so I checked that it returns maybe pending update state, not update state. So I decided to try update.
Hold on a second. I do one thing. So front block, to block, like if those are hard coded, does that mean that it's gonna eventually fail? Like, can you get away with doing from latest to latest and have it work?
Not sure. I tried different numbers, which was hard
I
coded.
mean, like, if you use the latest block ID, if it would work.
I will check this out because I tried different numbers, and the most responses for empty array. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I tried with latest.
And latest did not come back as successful.
I haven't tried that.
Okay. Alex, do you mind commenting that on that PR, just so we can track it? Yeah, I think it would be nice if we could do latest, because then that would also be compatible with Katana, and we wouldn't have to change anything. Or we could even do, I mean, for whoever wants to head up, I think it's even Roban, like if we can structure that end-to-end test to make sure we're running all of our calls in the right order, that'd be the best, right? So like we can run get block number first, and then we can run events for get whatever the return from get block number is, -10 or -100. That way we're not hard coding anything, but we're still operating on network feedback. So then if we pointed it at Katana, we're not like, it doesn't matter that we pointed it at Katana compared to mainnet. We're just operating on values we're getting back from either latest or pending. Does that make sense? Maybe I did a bad job of explaining that, but like if we structure those calls, we can essentially get all of the configurable parameters that we need in the calls without hard coding anything. I mean, without hard coding anything. No, we'll still need contract addresses. I'll leave it to the implementers to figure that out. But I added that one to the sprint under ready, so we should be good once that's all set.
Can I ask about the second issue about state update?
Yes.
Is it possible to bump the version of Starknet-rs to third version? I mean, I just checked Katana and Starknet DevNet. They all switched to a third version almost 3 months ago, and I thought that it's better to update because we can't support update states anymore on the second version. So
yes, definitely. So Alex took the last update of the version of Starknet-rs. I think it was a pretty heavy task, but if you're Tony, are you up for bumping that version? Because there might be some things that change internally to how we're using Starknet-rs.
I started it. I mean, it compiles now, but it's a lot of stuff to do with the errors handling, which were introduced recently, and there are a lot of differences. Starknet-rs, there are new layer of errors, and yeah, kind of a lot of work, but it compiles for now.
Okay.
I picked the third version. I mean, the first 0.3.0 from the Starknet-rs. I thought that it would be less changes than 5 or 4 versions.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That works for me. Oh, so we're working off a commit anyway. Yeah, then let's definitely do that. So you are proposing 3.0, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have only to less work to bump.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense. Do you think that that's something you could get done in this sprint? Meaning 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe not really clean, but yeah.
Okay, 'cause I think that would be great to add to this if we could. Okay, I'll assign you to this. I mean, there's no, these sprints are just to help us all organize things together. There's no gun to anyone's head on anything. Do you mind commenting on this one? For some reason it won't. Do you guys know what the deal with this is? Why I can't just assign this to a contributor? Because Tony has PRs that have been merged, so I would think I could just assign it to him.
Yeah, I've assigned stuff to people, or I assigned the last issue to Tony.
So weird. So he just appears in this drop down for you?
I mean, I started typing his name and it came out. Oh, say, let me check on my side. I'll look at that issue. See if I can assign it to him. Yeah, I can assign it to him. I don't know.
That's so weird.
You want me to
Just
assign it to
comment.
him? You want me to assign it to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
It's assigned. That's so weird.
Okay, cool. Then that solves that. I think, yeah, that'll be a great thing to have because I'd rather not work off a really old commit anyway. Is there any other, Tony, did you have anything else on any of these other issues?
No, I just wanted to add some error logs of when you call, for example, Starknet implementation to add a small line like for logging, because the current implementation of handling with the enums and the stuff, sometimes it hides the error and you can't understand what's happened. And
Yeah. Do we not format that error to pass back the error as well? You're saying that we basically hard code a response and don't respond with the error message?
Are you talking about the match? Like we have like a wildcard match that's like the unknown error. So if it doesn't if it doesn't slot into any of those other errors, and then it's unknown error. Because I haven't seen any message that get returned when I was messing.
Tony, do you have a specific endpoint that you're thinking of?
for example, when I tried get events, it was like unknown. But when I put the debug, it showed that it's timeout, and also with state update, it was unknown. But with debug, it was failed with JSON parsing mistake, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, do you have like an idea of where you want to go with that implementation? If I just open up a generic issue, do you know where you're headed with that, or do you need input from us?
Yeah, I would need help. I mean, I'm not really familiar with the errors for now.
Okay. Because when we call, at least on the Beerus side, when we have these map errors, and that's for the ETH side, which we don't do anything with. Just go back to get events. We have this map error where we do an error from and dereference it as a Beerus API error. And when we do that, it'll run through this, but it's supposed to return the error.message as well. I mean, each one of these errors in the enum has a second value, which is string, and it's supposed to pack back the error message. But that's not giving you what you're expecting.
I suppose it's not covers all the cases, maybe.
Okay. Can you, why don't we do this? I'll open an issue, and then can you, in the comment of that issue, like show how to recreate the steps that shows you the information you're that's not sufficient?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, sweet. Did you have anything else, Tony?
No.
Cool, then the last one is easy. Can you give us a status update on this one?
Yeah, so I just basically added more tests. So I think I added 2 tests, and I'm currently working on one. I think by the end of the day I should make a PR, but basically I added tests for get transaction block and hash, and get block transaction count. So that's
Okay.
what I basically added. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you see the effect on the, does this give you a good, let's go. Okay, cool. I'll go in and review that and run it myself and either comment or merge by the end of today. Would you consider this part of the ticket that was assigned, and do you want me to leave that issue open, or do you think that covers the issue?
Sorry, I don't get.
It's essentially 2 or 3 tests, right? Do you want me to, would you consider add Beerus test coverage to this part of the code base complete, or you want me to leave this open and you keep submitting PRs under this issue? Because this PR should be linked to an issue just for tracking purposes.
Sorry, I'm struggling to understand. I think my network is a bit bad. Can you go over it again? Can you repeat yourself? Sorry.
Yeah. So each PR, just so we're not being redundant with who's doing what work, each PR should be based off an issue that's been created. I think that this PR that you've submitted is based off this issue number 498, which, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you have it in here actually, so it looks good, but that issue is pretty broad. It's just saying add Beerus test coverage to this entire part of the code base. So if you wanted to add any more tests that added coverage to this section of the code base, I'll keep this ticket open and you can keep linking to 498 as opposed to creating a new issue and a new PR. It's total
Okay, so instead of
semantics.
Okay, so now where do I make the updates? Where do I I'm still
Let's just do this. Let's all close 498 when we close this, and then I'll open up a new issue for more test coverage.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Does anyone else have anything else on backlog before we go more into sprint planning?
I have a little bit. Sorry to jump in. So I have the ZK spike.
Mhm.
I think I gotta basically finished it. I just have to write it up. So it's all mentally covered. So I'll submit that probably before the weekend. And then there was that issue that we just talked about a little bit offline. But yeah, that probably will be finished by the end of the week. So at the end of the weekend. But that would be the backlog on my side.
Do you mind presenting this at the next community call?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not amazingly insightful, but I'm happy to just talk about kind of the things I thought about and that sort of conclusions I drew. Sure.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Cool.
And then what was the issue number for the one we discussed? 529.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same issue here. So
So
no, yeah, if you could, it's just weird that
I'm on it right here. Yeah. Where did I pull up the issue? I'll just do it in a second here. Pull it up
Okay.
again. But yeah, I'll do that right now.
Awesome. Okay, cool. That gives us another one to add to the sprint. Let's see if there's anything we're missing. Or I guess what do you guys think? Is there anything we're missing from the sprint?
I forgot to add a ticket. I wanted to, so in Starknet helper RS, we still have that block ID to string to block ID type method that doesn't apply anymore. We could just like remove it and then refactor tests and not use it anymore. But I didn't know.
Yes.
Like that'd probably be like a good first issue or something to have.
That probably will come with the Starknet-rs stuff, right? Because it's going to be a Starknet-rs type.
Oh yeah, no, it's already in there. It just
Oh.
it just removed. Like it's just hanging out, not doing anything. It's just like a cleanup refactor ticket.
Okay. Can you open an issue for that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I commented on 5.9, by the way.
Thank you. 29. That's so weird. Okay, so it's assigned to you. The only one that's unassigned is this one, but we talked about it, so you'll just. Oh no, this comes from a ticket. Sorry. Okay, we'll do the ticket. 521. Then I'll take this PR out of it. Okay. So then easy, for now, I'll just put this issue of, I'll put this in ready. And then once I review that, I'll put it to done and then I'll open you another issue. Does that sound good? Okay. So is there anything else in our, at least in our open issues, that we think belongs in here? Spikes don't really belong in there. This one. Have you looked into this one, Easy?
Yeah, I think I made a PR, unless there are like other files, but if just based on what you pointed out, I moved it and I think you already merged it.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. So we'll close this. Talked about that, talked about that, talked about that, talked about that. ETH send raw. So this will fall in line with most things. I'll reach out to Robin and see if he wants to take this one. Starknet get events. We talked about it. Talked about it. This is Luke's. Okay, cool. I think that makes for a pretty good sprint. That would essentially give us a lot more test coverage, migration to, I lost my project, migration to Katana, and a lot of bug fixes. Anything else you guys think should be in this sprint? And again, at the end of the sprint, we'll release 0.2.1, and then we can test that script that we talked about in Telegram, because that should make it a lot more up to date.
In general, if I have extra time, do you want just like to just go through more testing on the the Beerus core side, and just like
Yeah,
keep just filling out code coverage reports, I guess.
yeah. I mean, that would be great.
I don't know. Yeah, I can do that if there's extra time or if
Okay.
something goes faster than expected.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. And if you let me know if you want a different ticket for it, or if you just want to work it all underneath this 529 one, that works for me. Whatever workflow you'd rather have.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll think about that for a second. But yeah, cool.
Sweet. Alex, you got a joke?
What does a baby computer call his father?
Data.
That's right.
Or data.
Data. Gotta say data.
Data. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sweet. Do you guys want to go over that script? Easy. Do you have any questions on that script? The installer script or feedback on it?
Oh, so I don't really have a question about it, but then I have like a suggestion slash something I would like to work on. So I was thinking of working on like a GUI, if it's a GUI for Beerus, like just a way to just impute what should be in the EMV and stats, and like for people who don't necessarily want to know how it works under the hood. So something I was thinking about.
100%. I think that's a great idea. There's do you know there's someone working on that same kind of thing for Madara, and he spun up a like a Electron app. Have you seen that by any chance?
Yeah, I think I saw it in the channel, but I haven't really looked into it.
Let me see if it's this guy. I'll put it in this ticket. But yeah, basically it's an Electron app. Let me see if I have it. I do have it. He has some examples of it in the Madara Telegram chat, but basically like, it spins up a GUI and starts all of the logging messages for Madara. I think that'd be awesome to have for Beerus too. So are you good? Would you want to call it an Electron app, or did you have a different framework in mind for it?
No, I don't really have anyone in mind.
Okay. I'll just add it as an example and assign this to you. I think that's awesome. Cool. Anyone else, things like that, suggestions or feedback or things that would be nice to have for Beerus?
I just had a question. Where was this testing script in the repo? Where is it that you're talking about? I don't think I'm sure it's there and obvious to find, but I don't think I've noticed it yet.
Which testing script was I talking about? I'm losing my
It
brain.
sounds like the one for CI that's causing issues. It's the one you just mentioned a second ago.
Look at the workflow file.
Or I can just dig around.
No, it's okay. We can find it real quick. I think we got some time. E2E testing.sh. It looks like it's in the top level.
Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. E2D.sh. Yeah, I think that's enough to get me on the track.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, sweet. As always, awesome chatting with you guys. We can take everything else in Telegram and see you guys next Monday.
Thank you. Later, everyone.